You have to just let it go. But I like, I live in London with two friends. One of the major decisions I made in my 20s was I decided that I've lived on my own a long time, and the skirting boards were immaculate. Somehow my soul was still in tatters. I can't understand it. I lived above some very fetching garages in Swindon. But something was missing. So we just moved in with two mates, and it's a real struggle now. I'm still trying to not let shit bother me, because I care about them. They're nice people. They're happy people. They're friends I picked because I thought they would rub off on me. They're happy, nice people. The easiest way to describe them is that they are adult males who eat cereal at night time. I've never seen it done in my life before. The first time they did, they're skipping from work and go, "Ooh, chocolate Wheatos." What the fuck are you doing? You can't eat chocolate Wheatos now. You're an adult. Have some olives. And they say, "Oh, I don't like olives." You go, "Nobody likes olives." That's not the point of the olive. You don't eat olives because they're nice. They're horrible, aren't they? You eat them to punish yourself for having survived this long. That's the purpose of the olive. We give sweet, colourful food to the children, and then when we get older, we shove whoring pellets of death into our face. It's not that it's an acquired taste. Children are just more honest. If you gave an olive to a child, it'd go, "What the Are you trying to poison me? Piece of shit, I'm watching you." We eat them and we pretend we like them because we've marinated them in so much other shit you can't taste the olive anymore. There's chili and lemon zest and herbs and dog shit and anything. And then when you get older still, you squeeze the oil out of the olive so you can dip bread in it. The blandest of foods dipped in the slimiest. How was your anniversary meal? What did you have for main course? I was too full for main course because I had a lot of slimy bread at the beginning. But they don't do that. They eat cereals when they get in, and you know they're nice people. I'm trying to make sure that I don't kill them. I think I'm going to have to, however, because of things they do which are clearly wrong. Now, I don't want to say they're clearly wrong because clearly there's no right or wrong way of doing certain things. Are you two a couple? Yeah. A sex couple? a little bit, just a little bit, every now and again, just while she's asleep. How long have you been together?
6 months.
6 months? Oh, very new. Hence the excitement. Yeah, I go out, I watch theatre, come with me. And that really disappears after about a year, doesn't it? I thought we could stay the fuck in. That's what I thought I could do. I work all week, don't I? Oh, good. Well, I mean, all the best. I assume you don't live together then after 6 months? And have you... Well, I mean... You don't want to be asked now on a DVD recording, do you? When that's going to happen, and you look to the side there as if to go, "I'm so glad we sat a row behind." Do you two live together? How long have you two lived together? More than 6 months. And how is it living together? It's a real tension, isn't there? There's a lot going on here that I really don't have time to get into it because I have to talk about other stuff. But we can talk afterwards, I'll help you. I'm really a giver in terms of relationship advice. I advise you to just leave. My relationship history is dreadful because I think as soon as it stops being perfect, I just want to leave straight away. You know, initially, like 6 months, it's still you wake up in the morning, you're like, "Oh, how did you sleep?" "Not much because I was watching you because I love you." "Oh, let's have sex again." "Yeah, brilliant, great idea. Just look to the side." It's amazing, that bit, but then that bit ends and you have to deal with it. I just can't do that. I think you should leave as soon as it's not perfect. So as soon as you wake up and they go, "How did you sleep?" "No, not very well." "Oh, fine, you dumped. Whatever." Because then and it's not like that. It's just you have to take it day to day. But here's how do you split your chores in your house? You're just not even answering the question. That's how little you do in the house. I just don't do the questions or the hoovering. You answer this. You tell them you do everything because it makes me look bad. Do you do most of the stuff? You get the kids to do it. Ah, well, it's cheaper than a slave, isn't it? Do they do everything? Some. They clearly do it badly, though, they're children. Would you not rather just do it? That seems like a nightmare to me, to have a child do something and then have to have that debate whether to tell them they've got it wrong and crush their soul or be grateful and deal with the fact they haven't really done it.
They're just the right height for skirting boards.
They're the right height for skirting boards. Ah. Yeah, you applaud. You applaud the audience when I've been busting my fucking balls. How was the gig? Yeah, he was all right. We was fucking brilliant. We was. We've done a few jokes, yeah, really good. I think we're going to go on tour next year, actually, as an audience. Charge comedians to sit on a stage and watch us, because we fucking nailed that gig. Well done. We'll have to keep that in now, you prick. First DVD and I've relinquished control already. The only time I hate, like, all of us with that just universality is when I watch Take Me Out. That's the only other time. I just think we've ruined this. Whatever we had has gone now. If you've never seen it, well done. Whatever you've done until now has been correct. It's basically, to sum it up, everything that's gone wrong with society since Blind Date. That's what it is. Blind Date, you had nice. It was just limited numbers, wasn't it, of nervous people, and you'd have Scylla come out and she'd go, all right, everybody, and you'd have a little student here shitting himself like that. So we'll go, now there's 3 girls over there. You go, girls, I know I can smell them. Never met one before now, right? She'd go, now the girls are over there behind the screen, so you can't judge them on their looks. That's key. So if you want to get to know about them, you've got to ask them a question, preferably the kind of question you'd never actually ask a human being in your life. Never in the history of dating has someone walked up to someone at a bar and gone, God, I saw you over there and I just had to... 2 martinis, please. I just had to know, I mean, if you were a fruit, what fruit would you be? But it was good enough for Blind Date. He'd ask that question. She'd trot round, she'd ask the question of the girls like that, and he'd have 3 girls here, and they were gradually less nervous. That was the fun of it, wasn't it? They get cheekier, right? So the first girl's too nervous, she's just passed out on the floor. Second girl's, perfectly normal girl. She'd go, I don't know, cherries. People like cherries. Oh, they've got a stone in. Oh, I don't know, give me more time. She'd go, no, there's no time for that. Number 3. Right, and number 3 is our favourite. She'd go, bananas. We go, way! Because we knew what she meant, didn't she, right? Obviously, she hasn't said it because it's tea time and your nan's watching. Say that, can you? You could all enjoy the programme together then. Your nan could watch that and she'd go, oh, very good bananas. Lots of potassium in bananas. You wouldn't ruin it for her, would you? You wouldn't go, oh, she means dicks, actually. It's nothing to do with vitamin. If you imagine the shape, you see, up, that's why she said bananas. And the reason you wouldn't say that is because obviously your nan knows exactly why she said bananas. Your nan's just a bit further on than you in terms of her denial at what society has become. She's just pretending, do you know what? Maybe we're not talking about dicks at tea time. Because the truth is, if you did say that to your nan, she'd go, oh, no, that's see, we couldn't get bananas in the war, you had to use carrots. Go, It's just a better time, a time of innuendo and play. There was no sex on Blind Date, was there? Just get to the end and she'd go, do you want to pick one of the girls, love? It doesn't really matter because we got you on as a joke and they're all going to be gutted when they see your face. And it shapes people, it shapes how you feel about dating. I grew up with that and I thought, that's from, one day I too will appear from behind a wall and disappoint 3 women at once. We don't need to have sex, we'll just have a game of Scrabble somewhere and we'll never see each other again. That'd be nice. Now it's Take Me Out, which is just basically live shagging. Right, you're watching the bit where a man is... it's such a toxic programme, it has to be filmed underground, right? And we know it's filmed underground because the man is lowered in from the sky in a lift, right? And he's some new toxic breed of bellend who, when he gets in a lift and hears music and starts fucking dancing to it. Ding! Again, yeah. I'll tell you what, my name's Dean and I'm from Bradford and I think if I keep shouting that loud enough, I'm gonna get fucking lit. He gets lowered into a pit and there's no screens, they just basically goes, that one there, and not that one, no, that one. Right. And then they get to the end and they go up these stairs here, supposedly to the Isle of Fernando's, but it doesn't exist, I've checked. They just start shagging each other on the stairs, right? And a producer comes and pushes a button and they slide into a skip and they get wheeled away to make Finder's lasagnas. Still need meat, don't they, Finders? You've got to ask where they're getting it from. They're sexually desperate, that's where. I thought, well, that'll be my destiny. That's how I'll meet a girl one day. I'll be walking past a hotel and they say, oh, you're here for the cleaning convention, Mr. Richardson? It's just downstairs. Press the button and I'll hear the music and I think, oh, shit. Touche, Paddy. Here we go. But more often than not, as I say, it ends in an argument. She goes to bed, I feel awful, I go in the kitchen and get a whiskey, and I see the dishwasher's finished. And I think, right, well, I'll unload the dishwasher because she made tea and loaded the dishwasher. On that occasion, not every night, I'm not an arsehole, that's how we operate. We used to do what I'm sure a lot of you do. If you cohabit, one would cook, the other one would wash up. We knock that on the head quite early doors because I tend to tidy up as I go while I'm cooking, and she doesn't. That's not a problem, is it? That's just two people who do things differently. She does it her way, and I do it right. I can't help myself. I run a little dish of soapy water at the beginning and I'll pop the chopping knife, just do that at the time. I just pop it in soak. If you don't want to wash it, that's fine. Pop it in soak. Pop a bit of water in there. You got the beans out, pop a bit of water in there. Bit of water in there. Let's not put it straight back on the ring there. Let's not put it straight back on the ring with that little teaspoon of bean juice still in it and the residual heat of the ring there, just burning that on like a glaze in a kiln. You keep scrubbing, it don't come off, does it? It's just an orange pan now. Everything's orange. Sometimes I go in the kitchen, I think I'm getting cataracts. Residual bean juice everywhere. Just pop it in. So, same with your baking trays. Tip your roasties out, little bit of water in there, back in the oven, shut the door. The residual heat of the oven, it boils that water, it lifts all the grease off. You tip that away, you've washed the thing already, and you can write that down, because that's fucking gold, that is. Oh... You're very kind, but I wish that hadn't been the biggest reception of the evening. I really do. Sometimes I think maybe I'm one of them political comedians, and then I see that and I think maybe I'm Prue Leith on tour. It's a lovely tip, that, and that works for cottage pie, lasagna, anything. It just slides straight off. Washing up becomes sexual. I do it naked when she's gone to bed. I'm not going to lie to you. Just get it right off there with the finger. It slides right off. But, you know, you just pop it in soak. But what that would mean is I'd do a Sunday roast. Sometimes she'd go in to wash up. There's only a spoon and a plate. The next day she makes me a sandwich. Bomb's gone off in there. She's used everything we own. Sometimes I can't even get in the kitchen door. I have to go in the garden and climb in the window like that. Stand on the worktop shouting through. How have you used a tagine? So now the rule is you do everything, you get the next night off. That's fairest, right? But what it does mean is emptying the dishwasher is one of those weird jobs, isn't it? It's hours after the event, so I'll see it's finished. I think, well, I'll open the door, pull the drawer out, and then, to be fair, she'll often come back down from bed then because she can hear me screaming. She'll say, what's the matter, John? Is it the spider? I say, it's not the spider, it's the dishwasher. She says, you're joking. I say, no, get comfortable while we go through it all. Then we'll go through the litany of crimes that's happened in here because, like so many people, she seems to believe this is a magic box that cleans anything roughly in its vicinity, on the worktop, in the living room. If you love your family, you load this with the attention of a psychopath. Everything has its place. I say, well, it's this bowl that caught my attention first of all. This upturned bowl here on the top shelf. Now, it's not wrong to put a bowl on the top shelf on a light load, on a light load, on a light load, on a light load. Malfunctioned a bit there, I'm sorry. We tend to put the bowls down here, do you see, on the bottom shelf where the rungs are a bit wider. Now, that tips the bowls forward. You get more purchase underneath to get that filth off. But what you've done here is perfectly acceptable on a light load. I just noticed you've put this upturned bowl on top of an upturned plate. Really had to ask how you thought that was ever going to get clean in there. You've created a hermetically sealed environment here, look. There's nowhere for the water to get. There's only water in that box. Little people don't come in the back and lift everything. Give us a hand with this one, bloody hell. Pick it up, I say, look, that's exactly the same as when it went in, that one. Except now it's warm and damp and a day old. Do you see how dangerous that is? You couldn't grow mould in a more efficient environment than that. We'll put that one there. That'll have to be done again. Let's start a little pile. Now, this plate will have to be done again. I know the underside is clean that we eat off, but this side's filthy. And, of course, when we stack it, that's going to touch the eating side of the one underneath, isn't it? So we'll do that one again. Now, this wine glass on its side... Oh, I'm sorry? Oh, we're both tired. Unbelievable. I think this is a hobby of mine at 3 o'clock in the morning, dear. Now, this wine glass on its side, that'll have to be done again by hand as per the note. Don't know if you're getting my emails, you never reply. Push the drawer down. Now, if you'll come downstairs with me, you see we've fallen foul of the old 2-spoon rule there, haven't we? That's 2 spoons in the same commode. It does look like 1 spoon. It does look like 1 spoon. And that's the problem, you see. They've tessellated together. That's why we call it spooning, you see. They've gone together. Looks like 1 lovely clean spoon, doesn't it? But if I just fan them out, look, you see, it's the front and back of 2 filthy spoons, isn't it? The state of that, all covered in yoghurt and grass. You've been to the park again, haven't you? Now, this is where I've had to fail you. This is your major fault. This is the bread knife in the cutlery tray there. Now, of course, it's called a knife. I can see why you've put it in there, but if you'll come down with me, you see, it's not actually a semantic issue. It's an issue of height. Bread knife's too tall to go underneath, isn't he, Mr. Bread Knife? Yeah, he's too tall there, and he's stopped the propeller going round there, hasn't he? So what's happened there? You've shut the door, the propeller has smashed into the bread knife, and in fairness, spent 108 minutes washing the shit out of all this. Everything on this axis is absolutely impeccable. I can't fault you on that. Sadly, it's just all the rest of it has been a complete waste of both. I wonder when she left. I didn't hear the door.